Last time on Dice Fall and Everyone Dies.
Setting a wild animal on other crazy cultists. Yeah.
It's
pretty fucking smart, I think. Not that it's my plan or anything.
Well, that part was your plan.
I know.
Completely bypassed my plan.
Sorry. But it just seemed like two birds, one stone kind of thing.
Yes, but if the bear would have eaten the arsenic, then he could still be doing this while slowly dying of arsenic poisoning.
Sit on the bear.
What?
Just sit on it. Just trust me.
Okay.
Makes you look threatening.
Does it?
I mean, it implies that you killed a bear. That just murdered
Stano's not going to
friends.
sit on the bear, but she will lean against the bear. How about that?
All right, that's fine.
Welcome back to Dice Fall and Everyone Dies. I'm your GM Chris, and today let's talk about the magical world of wands. Magic wands themselves actually have been a part of Pathfinder for a while, and they happen to be an adventurer's best friend. You see, in the previous edition, the trusty wand of Cure Light Wounds was practically indispensable for keeping your adventurer party alive and healthy. In 2nd edition, it does things a little different. But before we get into there, let's take a look at how they used to work, and then we can cover why I like them now more than ever. Now, in 1st edition, Pathfinder wands were crafted to hold various spell types of certain levels, and they carried a specific number of charges. A charge would be expended after the spell was cast until all of its charges were used. And when all those charges were used, the wand functionally became a really fancy stick. And you could recharge it, but you basically needed the ability to craft a wand in the first place. It just became fresh material components. Now, some wands were highly situational, and those kinds of spells would last a party a whole campaign. You don't always need the wand of spider climb, and though you'll often use a wand of invisibility, it's not quite the same as when you look at something like a wand of Cure Light Wounds, or maybe even something like a wand of magic missile. The wands themselves were essentially expendable spell batteries, and healing wands and damage wands became the most coveted for those combat-heavy styles of play. And this meant that the wands themselves functionally just reduced the weight of combat, and they made the most dramatic magic readily available to the adventurers. And with a wand of Cure Moderate Wounds and a wand of 3rd level magic missile, parties basically felt indestructible, and essentially, they were. You see, a well-prepared cleric and wizard duo could keep a party diving deep into enemy territory and flush with HP and cranking out damage from back-to-back encounters. Now, there is a place for that style of play, but if your GM never gave you access to those resources, you really couldn't replicate it often. Then, if you had too many resources, your team often didn't develop tactics necessary for high-level play, where things like spell resistance became a lot more common and the terrors of the vile masterminds of evil tend to strip away a lot of your protections. Worst of all, wands gave players a false sense of strength, and it lures in the adventuring party into too deep into strongholds. When you're surrounded by powerful minions and you have no method of escape and now you're wandless, and you have no way to recharge those resources, you could have been looking at a total party wipe, partially due to those wands. Now, encounters became tuned to this type of expected play because wands were freaking awesome. And so, when you looked at the rules as written, you didn't see it really push resource management, and it left a lot for the players to figure out in the details. And why should it focus on resource management? The rules are there to help your building of characters and to teach you how they interact, but not to teach you exactly what's most numerically efficient. So, wands in 2nd edition, on the other hand, they take a different tact. So while they do cast a spell of a certain level, the use is once per day. You can attempt an overcharge, but when you do so, you might want to wait until you're in dire straits, because when you overcharge a wand, there's always a chance you can break or destroy it. An overcharge is kind of like a 2nd and maybe even a potential 3rd use in the same day. Now, this means that every wand that you pick up as a party becomes a lot more of a long-term useful item. And it's not quite as enticing to overreach a party into situations where you're diving too deep into a stronghold because you know how many uses you have. Now, the use of magic items like wands has also become a lot more core to the multi-classing archetypes for a lot of the spellcasters. the dedication feats open up the use of magic traditions that wands and staffs and scrolls are based on. The dedications don't offer a lot of robust spellcasting options, but being able to get into those wands and different types of staves actually helps expand your experience of spell slots. My favorite specialty wand is a wand known as a Wand of Manifold Missiles. Oh, I love this thing. This wand initially acts like a Wand of Magic Missile, but then each round after it, for the next 10 rounds, the wand shoots out another bout of missiles. And you put one in each hand, and then it's like you're running around the battlefield, just blasting away every single round with each of these wands. Now, even with a single wand, you still get this constant stream of damage. And with that stream of damage, you still have a free hand to cast more spells. The highest level version of this wand is priced at 15,000 gold, and it puts out 4 1d4 plus 1 bolts every single round after you do your first casting. Oh, it's so fun. So if you think about that, that's like a damage range of like 8 to 20 additional damage across 10 rounds, plus you also get to cast other spells at the same time, and that's just with one of them. You get 2 of them, and you're basically the wizard that's just running around. Now, speaking of something valuable, I want to thank you for spending your time with us in the podcast today. Let us know in the comments what you think, and please leave a rating on our iTunes and Podchaser pages. Doing so really helps out the podcast and helps us reach more folks who may want to listen to a story like ours. Now, we have drawn the winner for our giveaway, but we're going to announce them in the next podcast so that we can get in contact with them and make sure everything will go smoothly for them. We want to get these snazzy set of dice and the really sexy dice bag out to them as soon as possible. Now, when last we heard, Taffy was detecting magic and found something magical in their presence that they didn't know they had. What unexpected treasure may bolster their abilities now, And as you narrow it down, you realize that the figurine of a dog is actually magical.
I sit down.
Oh, Stano's got that.
Wait, I thought I found that.
Well, Stano rolled the 26.
That found it, yeah.
Okay.
And so when you begin checking it out, you realize that it is an onyx figurine of the dog.
Yes.
What does that do?
And that is on page 576 of the core rulebook. So, as you know, the chambers that you're in still have the steady dripping from the stone into this bog-like puddle.
While I was checking on the statue, could I have been checking on that wand that we found the other day?
So you want to give another shot at...
Detecting what's the wand.
Alright, give me an Arcana.
That's an 18.
So you're pretty sure that this is the wand you picked up is a wand of heal.
And I can use that because of primal, right?
It is, heal is on the primal spell list, yes.
Okay.
Deimos is going to get out of the puddle and try to shake himself off and get dry.
The puddle was very squidgy.
Ugh. Now I'm
But it
gonna
was just a
smell.
puddle. It wasn't like a channel anywhere or anything like that.
I mean, technically, didn't it wash off some of the blood and viscera?
True, but now I'm squidgy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need a bath. Ugh.
There's only one door in and out of this room that's here. From the room that you entered from, there was another door heading to the east.
Let's head that way.
So who's going to open that door?
Well, obviously not Tabby.
There's a door. There's one door in this room, and then we go back to the other room. There's another door.
Yep.
There's so many fucking doors in this building. Stano will open it.
Okay, doke. You see it leads down a 20-foot hallway and has another door on the northern side of the hallway, but it's at the very end of the hall.
Let's do it. Let's get all the rooms knocked out.
Stano's gonna move forward.
Okay, doke.
She's gotta open the door.
So as you open the door, the furniture in this former bedroom is all askew and reveals a mountain-like pile in the center, made up of largely garbage such as filthy cloth, chunks of rubble, and bent nails, as though there are a few shining glints in the mix. And on the southern wall, scrawled in a chunky substance, is a childlike handwritten message, and there are several words that might be gibberish. And as Taffy reads it, she sees, "Beware mighty dragons," and mighty is spelled Mitey.
Kobolds.
Do you think it's a kobold's old broom?
Mitey.
Yep. Beware mighty dragons.
Is dragon spelled correctly this time?
It is actually spelled correctly this time.
Kobolds. All right. What are the shiny things?
Nails.
So as you begin looking around, you think you may have found what is the kobold's horde.
Well, we went when Kaz went into the hallway, he grabbed the kobolds, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do they recognize this room? Do they react to it?
So as y'all begin looking around, it's like, it's back! Yay!
I mean,
Look at our horde. It's all of the really cool shiny things we've been able to find. You see, there was this time that I found this really cool dented coin that its sun glints off just perfectly. And then, look, I was able to find some of these over here when we were going around and claiming this one. This one, I don't know what it's called, but it kind of reminds me of, like, shimmery glintiness. Not quite gold, but maybe a little bit of pyrite. And I think this one over here is silver, and I know this one's definitely
Taffy's
copper.
heart grew 2 sizes that day.
It was
Because-
And I
already
think
quite
we-
large.
Yeah, well, she was sad about the bear and kind of pissed off at the frog thing because fuck those frog things. But the kobold's pure joy at seeing their horn again makes her happy.
And so Pib is the one who is running around trying to show you all the bits. And Zarf comes over and he looks around. They tried putting a hole in our wall. And you see
What?
there's a spot on the easternmost wall where it looks like someone has begun trying to dig. And they've
Found-
gotten through some of the store,
I
some
think
of
we
the stuff.
found their beginnings of a tunnel.
Like, professionally started to dig, or looks like they made shivs out of a spoon and started chunking away at the wall, kind of.
It's very spoon-like.
Oh my god. It's not even in the right direction.
Nobody ever said cultists were intelligent. Only that they were dedicated.
Taffy, does any of this look like magic to you?
You do not detect any magic in this room.
Nope.
Gotcha.
But with Pib bringing out all of their shinies to show their honorary dragon members,
So,
you imagine they probably accumulated about 15 gold worth of material.
wow.
There's a lot of really
I guess
interesting
this
ores
is-
in here.
where are we? So this is
Interesting
the
what?
staircase that fell, right?
Interesting what?
Interesting ores and
Oh,
materials.
ores. Okay.
So where did the south come?
I heard
is
you
that
say
where
oars,
this-
but for some reason I was thinking like, some boating kind of oars.
Mhm.
I was like, why would there be that here?
Okay, and we already checked all these rooms? Around the war room?
We already checked all the rooms around the war room, right?
Yes.
So what
So that
haven't we
staircase
checked?
off to the side,
That's the
is
staircase.
that the one that's collapsed?
So the collapsed staircase is just outside the area to the war room.
Okay.
Oh.
That appears to have been collapsed, and it's the same collapsed staircase structure that y'all saw on the first floor, but it seems the collapse is carried even all the way down and has made that entire stairwell impassable.
So we're done. So we've cleared out the basement.
Did we? So we've done this
I'm
room.
stuck in the basement.
Y'all know that there is one hallway that y'all have yet to venture down.
Is it off of the spine hallway?
It is off the spine hallway to the south.
Okay. Okay. I guess. Do we want to hole up in the war room with everybody, take a long rest, and then head back down that hall so that we can all get our spells and shit back and get healthy again?
Can Taffy set... What's the distance on Taffy's alarm spell?
Let me pull it up. Or we could just camp by the tunnel.
No, I'd rather us camp in the war room, but...
I see what you're saying,
Because it's
though.
closed. You can close it off.
Because alarm makes an audible sound, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's more to like scare anybody off if they tried to mess with it.
Range is touch. Area is 20-foot burst. You ordinary area to alert you when creatures enter without your permission. When you cast alarm, select a password. Whenever a small or large corporeal creature enters the area or spells area without speaking the password, alarm sends your choice of a mental alert. In which case gains the spell. Oh, it's a mental alert. Or an audible alarm with the sound and volume of a handbell.
But if it's just a handbell, we won't hear it.
Yeah, so it'd have to be the mental, and then that means Taffy's having to wake you up. But let me see.
Well, that would give us enough time to kind of get geared up and get ready to go fight them. Because they'd have to make their way all the way through there to get to the hallway.
Yeah.
Or...
I mean, what if we did the rest in this room, barricaded the doors there, that way we have access to here.
Yeah.
And we can still put like an alarm across a 20-foot burst, so I could put it here, and it would cover all of that.
Or you could even put it
Or if we just
over
barricade...
here.
Well,
farther
my
down.
concern is somebody coming in from the town
Oh.
as well.
Oh, I thought you were saying that we would hold up here.
Yeah, well, we don't want anybody coming from either side.
Mhm.
So
So-
what if we barricade this door over here?
And then
And
take
that's
watch.
in the southeast.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the southeast.
And then we just set an alarm off of the tunnel.
Okay, yeah,
Wimble
barricade
could
these two,
farther
and then
down.
alarm here.
Well, I think Wimble needs to rest too, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, because I tapped him earlier for a tap to
Yeah,
get his spell
yeah,
back.
this sounds good. Okay. So we're going to go hole up in the area outside. Oh, what is that room, Chris?
So
The
it's
sepulcher?
No, it's not. It's not the actual sepulcher, is it? Ugh, who wants to sleep in a sepulcher?
Only the dead.
wait, the room at the very end of the sepulcher that has like the tables and
I
shit.
think-
That's the.
I think that's the room at the end of the Hall of Graves.
Maybe that's what it was, yeah.
Yes,
So
the
here,
sepulcher of the nail is at the end of the Hall of Graves, next to the ossuary.
This room.
Yeah, that's the
So
sepulcher.
that is the vault
So that's
Okay.
all stone.
and serviceable wooden tables. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
we can hole up in the vault.
Did y'all want to barricade the doors or just use the alarm?
Barricade the doors.
Yeah, we'll barricade the doors to the vault, and then we'll use the alarm on the tunnel and settle down for a long rest.
Should I do the bell or should I do the
mental.
The bell,
the
because
bell
we'll hear it,
'cause everybody can hear it, and it'll immediately wake me either way.
Okay.
and then it'll set off. If somebody else has watch, it'll set them off.
And because it's out to the tunnel, we could potentially have like a little fire if we wanted to cook anything or anything like that.
Does it look like it's ventilated enough to do that?
Y'all have not seen the proper ventilation shafts in this
Oh.
area.
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
So are y'all going to invite the kobolds
Yes.
to
Yes.
y'all's camp?
Absolutely. In fact, we're not even going to invite them. Instead, it's just Pibs off. We'll be camping in another room tonight. Let's go.
Oh, do we need to bring our horde? I really would feel comfortable if we brought our horde. It is our horde.
How about we barricade the door to the horde?
And how will we get back in?
We'll debarricade it.
But there's only one way in and one way out. How would we undo the barricade? Like, how would I get out if I barricaded it? I can't be in two places at once.
What?
What
We
he
could-
means is that
How
you'd
okay,
have to
how
bear-
much
Why don't we sleep in the horde?
how much time would it take us to move the horde?
It would, because of the size and density of it, you could probably just take like a few rounds to throw it into a bag.
Let's do that. Not Taffy's bag.
Right, because Luna would not be happy with that.
Well, I
Luna
thought-
chewed a hole in it.
Yeah, that's true.
Also,
Also-
Luna's on a lead.
That's true as well.
slapping her little paws everywhere.
You have to continuously prevent Luna from trying to nom on Zarf's tail.
You know what?
Give me a handle animal.
You know what? No, Stato's gonna take this animal.
No, no. Taffy wants.
Not
to try.
permanently. Like,
Well, that kind of fell, but that's not a bad roll. So that, what's the DC? 15 again?
I didn't tell you what the DC was. What you get?
21.
So Luna tries to go after Zarf's tail, but you give a sharp pull back on it, and you bring her back into line next to you as you practice walkies as you're going down the hallways.
practice walkies. Now you reward her for being good.
I give Luna some jerky.
She responds well to discipline.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all make it down from the northern rooms across the hall, and you move down through the Hall of Graves over to the east and begin setting up y'all's temporary camp in the vault. Y'all are going to place a ward where the tunnel is that leads towards Breachill.
Yep.
And what are y'all going to do to the door to the ossuary and to the door to the Hall of Graves?
Oh, the ones inside the vault?
Yes.
Those doors? We're gonna barricade them.
Excellent. Go ahead and give me a quick craft check on that.
Haha.
I'll let
13.
Okie doke. So you think you've got a fairly solid barricade by getting 2 of the tables in front of him. While it might not hold, it'll definitely be enough to wake y'all up.
I definitely think we should also place watches.
Absolutely.
Alex smiles wryly and looks at you, but there's not a clockmaker here.
Alec.
When did you get so punny?
He's
Well,
been around us too long, you guys.
It
He's
has
been
been
around
a-
us too long.
It's
Abort,
infectious.
abort.
It has been a punishing day.
Oh my god.
It's infectious.
I'm kind of surprised Master Kazlin didn't get himself a bear rug.
There's a time and a place. I guess that. was
Did Kazlin get
technically
the
the
meat
time
from
and
him?
the Place, but I don't know.
Did Kazlin get the meat from the bear?
No.
He already saw how stricken Taffy probably was. He'll do it later when she's not looking, probably.
So we can condense this a good bit here. So
I
y'all
want to take some of the night, like during my watch, to scribe over some of the spells, please.
So for that, you're going to pick out which of the scrolls you're going to scribe into your book, and you'll need to know which of them they are, as well as their spell levels. And we'll go ahead and do the rolls for those. And Damos is going to attempt to patch everyone up, correct?
Yes, let's do some rolling.
So, Kazlin, do you have any damage?
I do not.
Taffy, do you have any damage?
No.
Stano, do you have any damage?
Yes.
Alec has some damage.
Okay. And I have none, so. 19 plus 8, so
27.
27, fantastic. That means you critical.
And,
And so a critical success is going to be 4d8 healing.
20.
All he needs 11.
So, Damos's sultry hands make sure
Oh my
that both Alec and Stano are fully healed up. A little extra attention paid to Stano, of course.
What?
And what spells is Taffy going to write into her spellbook?
I would like to do darkness, dark vision, and heal.
Okay, so heal is a primal spell.
I have primal.
And though you can cast a primal spell, it's not an arcane spell that you'd be able to write into your spellbook.
Well, then I give the heal scroll to Damos.
Now you could cast
I
from the
can't
heal scroll because you have access to the primal spell list,
Oh.
but it's not one that you could scribe into your book
I don't
because
have
you have to
primal
cast
either.
that with your sorceress abilities. So that's coming from your bloodline, not your arcane specialty.
I see.
You could attempt to use it.
Okay.
Hold
Yeah,
on to it
just-
for now.
I'll just do the 2 spells because I already did mending earlier.
All right, so let's go ahead and try your first one.
Now, could I use my assurance just to auto do this? Because
Well, what skill is your assurance on?
Arcana. It's plus 10 to my Arcana checks.
And what's your Arcana
11.
plus? Yeah. So with because the DC for those would be 20, and so within an hour you're able to get all 3 of the level 2 spells into your book.
All 3? I was only doing 2.
Oh, so you have darkness and
Dark vision.
dark vision. So both of those level 2s are in your spellbook now,
Okay.
and those scrolls are consumed.
Okay.
So now we're bedded down and
Ready for the long nap.
we can do campfire talk. Oh, there's no campfire. Never mind. It'll be darkness, silence.
Wait. Isn't Damos's face still lit
Oh,
up?
that's right. You never just missed that.
Make it
There
go
is a
away.
campfire. Just sit in the middle of all of us.
Make that go away.
I mean, Davis could technically cast light on like the center of the floor.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
just place an object in the
Or
center.
I can produce flame and have it just burning.
we
dancing
don't
lights.
have any ventilation.
Not okay. So produce flame does not require any kind of tinder. It can sit on the floor,
It's a magic
burning
fire.
with no
But
smoke.
it still
No, it doesn't
Oh.
produce smoke.
Oh, then we could technically cook food on that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess a little produce flame fire.
Yeah. As long as we don't have anything burning in it, like wood or anything, it's not going to smoke.
Brilliant.
Now, it's a little fire. It's like what I can hold in the palm of my hand, but I should probably.
I mean,
that's
it's
a
hot
cantrip, so-
rations.
Yeah. And tea.
And tea. Tea would be lovely.
Tea would be lovely.
So as y'all are beginning to bed down, you see Pib and Zarf kind of look each other in the eye. Training time! Training time! And they begin squaring off to each other. And like, all right, Pib. All right, Zarf. And it's time to duel! And they begin having a mock magic battle back and forth, training themselves. Since y'all are bedding down for 8 hours, they turn over one of the tables that none of y'all's stuff is on while someone's preparing food. And one's trying to see how well they can dash behind as one sends magic missiles on one. It's just like, let's see how unerring your missiles truly are! And as he tries to cast, he like dashes over to the side, and then one of them, because of when it was cast, curves around and then smacks him against the side of the head, and they just...
Wait, they're actually casting magic missile at each other?
And as you ask that, best way to practice!
Cute.
An electric arc flies back off of one, hits Pib right square in the noggin, knocks him over, and he's unconscious.
I cast stabilize.
You don't have that.
I do.
She does.
I thought I didn't, but I do.
Because it's a cantrip.
Yep.
I win again, Pib! Pib, after you stabilize him, it's a lot easier to recover when you have friends.
Not wrong, buddy. You're not wrong.
And at about that point, Luna goes over and then just bears down and bites on Zarf's tail for gloating. Arr!
I grab Luna and scold her. Luna, we don't bite our friends.
Maybe if Zarf was to help
Handle animal.
feed Luna.
Maybe if
I'm
Zarf
worried
looked
that
less tasty.
She wants me to feed her personally. And I
Baby.
don't know how much my tail can take.
Handle animal.
Okay, no, roll. Give me that nature check.
That's an 18 plus nature, which is 6. 18, 19, 20, 24.
You have progressed another day towards helping prevent Luna from being as bloodthirsty.
Good.
Do we have like a cheery campfire noise we can play in the background instead of the creepy pianist who keeps following us around? This is the first time we've actually got like a campfire and we're camping like actual like
Adventurers.
adventure pals. None of you are Stanos' friend. She doesn't have friends. They disappoint her.
Oh, Tappy's face.
Sid, looks don't translate over the...
Tabby sits over by herself, pouting if she hears Stano say something like that.
Stano will never say anything like that out loud.
Cuddling Luna for comfort. Luna loves me at least.
Tafaxi, go sit by the fire.
It's okay. Stano loves you.
What?
Nothing.
Damos, don't put words in my mouth.
Are you saying you don't love Taffy?
I feel love for very few people, and they're mostly limited to my immediate family.
You don't like Taffy?
I didn't say I didn't like her.
Mostly?
What?
Never mind.
There are few others. Me? Tafaxiodaxi, I find you a dear companion, and one that I can truly rely on in the midst of combat. And that is as much as you can ask for me on 4 days' knowledge of each other.
That's fair.
So who was this scorned lover?
What's your last name, Caslin?
I asked you first.
Hmm.
I don't have a last name. Zoff, I don't believe this is one of those moments.
Would you like a last name?
It sounds pretty cool. What does it do?
It lets everyone know who you're related to.
Signifies your noble house.
So if you'd like, either I can give you my last name, and you could be an Odaxi, or we can make up a whole new one for you.
Ooh, very tempting. What about Master Caslin? What's his last name?
Yes,
He
Master
was our
Caslin.
first honorary dragon, after all.
What is a dragon that you love? One of old heritage.
We've been separated from the tribe for so long. After we were driven out after not having, well, been on guard properly for too long, we had to find and make our own way. We didn't even know what last names were until, well, all we knew is that we were mighty dragons.
So you don't know of any old dragons, any of legend?
We do know of Apsu, and we know of the Hawk. We also know of Tiamat, the Great Mother.
How about Zarf and Pib, Tiamat's son?
Sounds powerful.
I was thinking more Zarf and Pip, Dragonheart, or Dragon Brave, or...
Fireblood.
Ooh, I like that.
Now that sounds like a good idea right there. It's like you have this amazing ability to name things. Where does that come from?
I come from a country full of houses, of great names.
Taffy's still looking at Kaz, like,
So what gives a house a great name?
Kaz, did you ever...
History.
Blood.
Did you ever go to Absalon?
Why does that matter?
Just curious.
I've been where I've been.
Informative.
Okay.
Master Kazlin, I believe that's what they call a non-answer.
So it is.
And you, Sis Dagram, have you been to Absalom?
I've passed by there on a time. It is a very metropolitan city.
It is. It's one of the best. One of. I can't say it's the best. I haven't been everywhere yet. but-
Gorian is the best.
I tend to favor cities like Igorian and Corvosa.
What's
Absalom is a
Corvosa
bit
like?
liberal.
Oh.
Free.
Well, their immigration policy is a bit unusual. It
Wait.
basically leaves their less wealthy suburbs and ghettos much like that ghettos. The people live in squalor there where they don't have the wealth to take care of. They could do much better in those places if they controlled things more efficiently and effectively.
Oh, but the
Oh.
Corvosan universities are quite devoted and dedicated.
If they could just solve that Drake and Imp problem.
Oh, drakes are adorable. Don't even try to say otherwise.
It's not that they're not adorable, it's that they infest so quickly. It's the only thing I'd give up. If one side would win versus the other, but we all know Asmodeus keeps replenishing the other.
He does indeed. What?
Wait, you both are from...
Or Corvosa. Caslin's from Corvosa.
You're from
Agorian.
Agorian. And Agorian is a city in
Cheliax.
Cheliax, which is ruled, or like the driving faith is at the worship of Asmodeus.
Yes. Is there a question that Taffy's wanting to ask?
I thought you guys would kind of like imps or something.
I have a complicated relationship with the Asmodean faith.
Imps are but annoying little bloody hell monkeys that try their very damnedest to continue to serve their uppers, and in the process of it you never know what lies they'll tell in the process. They're as bad as dire rats.
Okay. But they're Asmodeus' creation, right? And you guys worship him?
Creation is a rough term.
Worship is a difficult term.
Okay. Complicated is what I'm hearing.
We
Okay.
like to use the term respect. And it's hard to respect someone's pet rat.
By blood, I am required to face the Asmodean church, but to be honest, I mostly ascribe to Gorum.
Gorum.
He is the he's like the god of battle and steel and stuff.
Okay. And Asmodeus isn't like a jealous god. He's totally cool with you doing that.
House Thrune is kind and wise enough to allow all of those who live and serve under their name to pay respects to any deity they should so choose. Though, in my own opinion, it would be wise to avoid public worship of Iomedae.
Yeah, I could see how that would be awkward in a country that,
The revolution was quite exhausting.
I could imagine.
Remember, Asmodeus is the Prince of Law. You know what you deal with when you deal with Asmodeus.
Yeah. You do.
So, Caslin. Siblings?
He's fallen asleep. Have you no respect?
Caslin!
Ugh, mother. It's him speaking in his dreams.
Okay.
He's talking in his sleep.
Sleep does sound like a good idea.
Well, at least we know he has a mom. Or
I
had a
assume
mom.
most people had mothers and fathers.
Well, you know.
Do you think nobles just pop out of the ground?
No, but not all people get to be with their parents.
Fair.
So while Brett is in Caslin is kind of up against part of the wall there in a nice little defensible spot, I imagine he's got his arms crossed in a bit of a defensive. Is he more sprawled out, or is he kind of close to?
He's
Using the frog leg as a pillow.
Gross.
he's not really defensive at all. He's just sort of like he fell asleep and didn't mean to, so he just sort of like went limp.
And so once Pib and Zarf, their eyes start going in, they kind of sneak up and they curl under each one of Caslin's arms.
Oh, that's adorable. I love it.
Good source of fatty heat. We haven't had one of these in a while.
Oh. Taffy's gonna join us. You
And
guys
then,
can have the first watch.
Stana will take first watch.
and with Luna in Taffy's lap, eventually kind of falls over, and as with Zarf fully asleep, gets part of his tail and just a little bit of his tail in her mouth as y'all are falling off asleep.
God damn it.
God damn it, Luna.
She's nibbling on the very end.
She's gonna have such a sore tail tip in the morning.
He will. So as y'all make it through the evening, the watches are uneventful. Maybe just kind of still a little of the ominous.
Taffy, in her head, as she's drifting off to sleep, well, that stopped them from asking a whole lot of questions about me.
Stato's determined to wrest Caslin's last name from him. She's determined to get your last name.
That may not get you what you want.
What?
Knowing his last name may not get you what you want.
No, but she really wants to know what it is. Hey, if he gives her his last name, she might give him hers. Or at least one of the last names.
Didn't you already give us one?
She gave you the name Amdamal.
Taffy's name is at least forthcoming. Like, she legitimately
To be
is
fair-
a Odaxi.
Deimos hasn't even given us a last name.
Nope, you don't even have his full first name.
So Taffy and Stagram are the only two that have been honest with their names. Maybe
Yep.
not their titles and roles, but their names.
So Stagrum, taking the third watch, gently wakes everyone as the watch comes to an end so that everyone can prepare their spells as necessary.
Yes.
And so everyone should now be, with the help of Deimos, full hit points. Taffy should be able to prepare any selection of her new spells into her slots to be ready to go. And y'all find yourselves rested in the vault of the Order of the Nail.
Stato is going to unbun her hair and put it into a braid.
That had to be much of a headache, my lady.
It was. That's why it's like this now.
Taffy's gonna cast Mending
On your
first
bag?
on her bag, and then she's gonna cast it on her robes,
Her dress.
her dress.
Okay, doke. So you begin casting the magic, and as it begins stitching everything together, you have a fine seam across the bag, and the mending has even been able to take out most of the stains that have been in the dress itself from the various places. And
To
it is now
restore the
seamless.
color because it's a bit faded.
It's taken it back to when you first acquired it.
I see.
Stato's going to peek at the stitching and go, that's good work.
Yeah, this spell's pretty great.
Well, my compatriots, are we going to move down that long hallway, or is there something else that y'all need to accomplish while we are here?
We are absolutely gonna move down that hallway.
And then we will return to Breachill. We will return to the
Take a
Wizard's
proper
Grace.
bath. Get my nice robes.
Change clothing.
Brush my hair.
Brush teeth.
Oh, yes.
Be not stonky.
In a colloquialism, yes, Deimos.
Oh, so we're not going to check that final remaining hallway?
Oh, no, we're
Yes,
doing that
going
first.
down that hallway.
Ah. Well, then lead the way, my dears.
Santa's gonna start heading out.
Taffy's going to follow Stano.
As y'all begin clinking back down the hall of graves, passing over the 6 open ones that y'all have become quite accustomed to here in the dark, lit by the dancing lights from your gnome, y'all head back up towards the spine hallway that adjoins the war room. Hang a right back down the hallway y'all have not yet explored. And as in the gloom you come to the end of this hallway, you see that it abruptly ends in a wall.
What?
That's particularly odd.
Taffy?
Yeah?
Magic?
Definite magical signatures on the other side of that wall.
There's magic there.
Well, we remember from the bookkeeper's shop.
Can I percept this wall?
Yes, give me a perception.
That's a 20 for me.
14.
21.
So as Kazalin begins kind of checking to see if there are any traps along the lines, both Stano and Taffy realize that there is a hidden button behind an alcove of one of the stones. And as you press it, you realize that you can open up a secret door.
I dislike all this treachery. At least be open and honest about yourselves.
Who wants to open it?
Well, if Taffy will hit the button, Stano can take a defensive stance at the front.
Yeah, and I'll draw my bow.
Taffy hits the button.
Okay, did you want to pull out a weapon first, Fred?
Yeah, he said he drew his bow.
Oh, drew your bow. I heard drop your bow, pardon. So as you open up the door and it slides away, 6 looming raised daises stretch out from the east to the west in this chamber, and each one bears a massive stone coffin with a carving of a fully armed and armored Hell Knight lying in stately repose. And upon closer inspection, the details of the various weapons and minor variations in armor of the figures distinguish each of them apart from each other. 2 of the coffins loom ominously open, and the east wall bears a complex series of inscriptions composed of a faintly glowing pale blue set of runes that Taffy immediately recognizes as a necromantic ward. And as y'all peer into it, you see that there appear to be 2 undead wights. Everyone give me perception.
Fuck.
Ooh, 20. 27.
19.
21.
I can do math, guys, I promise. 25.
And let's see what the monsters and Alec are at. Alec just wasted a natural 20 on his initiative. And the monsters rolled a 4.
Yay.
Cool, so we'll all wall up them and then they'll go.
So each of the wights appears to be wielding a halberd of fine quality. And Alec immediately moves in to angle around, and it takes him 2 actions to properly maneuver. But he moves into the backside of one of the wights and unleashes a strike with his greatsword. And he's able to hit it, dealing a fair chunk of damage into the first one that is there. So moving a bit tactically, he's able to deal 7 points of damage to begin this fight with the undead. Demos.
Are these corporeal?
They are corporeal, they are wights.
Not wraiths.
Okay, so...
As you saw the great sword bite into it properly.
Okay. Let's try the rapier then. See how that goes.
So you're going to move up.
Yes.
Do you want to move up into flanking with Alec?
Yes.
Excellent. You are now flanking the wight, and you have 2 actions remaining.
So 18 plus 6, so... And what bonus does flanking give?
Flanking subtracts from their
Flat
AC.
footing.
Oh, okay.
So 24.
24.
24 hits.
5.
5 points.
Mm-hmm.
Your rapier stabs into it, and you can see a little piece of the flesh come off from it as you pull back.
Gnarly.
Ew.
Do you have any other actions? Move
Mm,
forward, stab.
I'm going to move out of melee with it, so I don't get hurt as easy.
Excellent. Steno.
She's gonna move up. She's gonna power attack.
So you're going to move up into flank now that Damos has moved away, or move up to the other one?
Move up and flank now that Deimos has moved away.
Excellent. Drop that power attack.
That's a 20.
20 hits.
Okay. Appreciate that I can now roll an 8, guys, and still hit. So 17 damage.
So 17 cuts into it and does a hard strike into it. It seems as though the armor left onto the whites is being able to absorb some of the damage, but you have done a fantastic blow to it.
And that, yep, that's it. That's
And
all
that
3.
now means it is Kazalin's turn.
I'm going to move up to the one that is flanked.
So Stano and Alec are on either side of each other for the flank. It will put you in melee with the other one to do so. Are you okay with being in melee with
There's
both
only
of them?
one side that's available to be in.
So if both are roughly standing next to each other, and Alec moved around behind them, so you could try flanking the other one with Alec catty corner if you'd like.
I'm having a hard time visualizing the
So
combat.
you have a fairly rectangular room, and in each of them in this room are 6 sepulchers. So the whites are next to each other in an open area right before the sepulchers could be used as cover. And Alec took 2 actions to move around behind one of them directly and made a strike.
Okay.
And then Demos came up, stabbed, backed up,
Right.
and then Stano came up to that same one and unleashed a hard slash against that same one.
So there's only one open space next to the one that.
And so you can jump on either side of him, but for the one that's currently flanked, you don't have another person to flank on the opposite
Oh
side.
no,
of
I'm
it.
not trying to flank on the opposite side.
So there's an open spot to still attack that one, but not get the flank.
Right. Okay. I want to go to the side that's not next to the other white.
Okay.
I want to shove him towards the other white. So hopefully if this works, it'll trip both of their attack of opportunities. Right?
So an involuntary movement does not trigger.
It doesn't? Well, that's dumb. Why would I want to do that then? Okay, well, never mind. I'm not doing that. I'll just move up to it where I was going to be anyway and just attack
All right. So you're attacking it with your bow?
it.
Because that's what you had drawn.
It is, isn't it? That's fine. I'll just swap out.
All right. So move up, 1 action to put away, and then quick draw for a strike.
Yeah.
Okay. Unleash your strike.
Okay. That will be an 18.
An 18 hits. And which weapon are you using?
That's the short sword.
So you bring out your short sword, you cut into it, and how much damage do you deal?
Just 3.
So you take a side swiping at it, and the effectiveness of your strike is blunted by the armor, but you're able to get in under it, dealing your 3 points of damage. Taffy.
Taffy is going to start chanting in Sylvan. And she's going to point a hand at one of the whites, the one closest to her, so I assume the one that everybody's kind of surrounding at this point.
Okay.
And she's going to cast Disrupt Undead. You lance the target with energy, you want to deal 1d6 damage plus your spell casting modifier. The target must attempt a basic fortitude save. If the creature critically fails the save, it is also enfeebled 1 for 1 round.
So it fails, but it does not critically fail.
How much did it fail? Or what did it roll?
So your save DC is, I believe, an 18.
18.
So it did not critically
Okay.
fail, but it failed.
Okay. Okay.
And so your magic from Disrupt Undead lances into it, and it's a solid hit, giving you your full damage.
Oh, nice. That's a d6 plus, or that's a 6 plus 4, so 10.
And it appears to be on its last legs, severely damaged.
So that was 2 actions, and I'm gonna cast Shield on myself for the
So-
last action.
A floating disc of force energy manifests in front of you. And it is now the monster's turn. So they are going to try to focus all of their attacks on Stano as the one who's right in front there. Stano, what is your AC?
21.
So the one in between you and Stagrum, it lashes out with its claw. Does a 30 hit?
You know a 30 hits.
Does a 30 crit?
No,
Barely.
it does not crit. It's a 21 AC.
Give me a fortitude save.
Yeah, okay.
As its claw slashes out to you, dealing to you 9 points of damage, it begins attempting to drain the essence from you. Ah, a button,
Don't start. Okay.
That's much better.
That is a 23.
23 is successful. And it appears as though the amount of health that it drained from you was enough to partially reinvigorate it. It was not quite so much to drain your effectiveness in combat,
Bastard.
but it has another strike.
Bastard. Your
Its
father's
second-
ashamed of your bloodline.
Its second strike misses, and it 5 foot adjusts out of the flanking position. That allows the second white to use an action to move around into flank with Stano and takes its attacks. And because you are flat-footed, it is able to hit but not critical you. Give me another fortitude save.
Okay. Same as before, 23.
And it deals to you 5 points of damage. And it seems to be invigorated from having drained some of your life. And it makes a second attack. And it's able to get a second claw in, just barely because of your flanking condition, hitting towards one of your blind spots. And that slashes across you for 8 points of damage and another fortitude save.
Jesus fucking Christ. That is a 25 fortitude save.
And it does not drain any additional life from you. But y'all see Stano now, her armor raked by these claws, and various points of where the undead's hands have been able to rake through some of the chinks in her armor.
How
Has
dare
been
you
bloodied.
insinuate there's chinks in her armor?
And it is now Alec's turn. He then adjusts himself to put himself into flanking with Stano on the one that kind of 5 foot stepped away. And is able to get a hit with his greatsword. The sword comes down and it nearly takes the head off the monstrosity, but it appears to still be standing. He's then going to make a secondary strike against the one next to him, but in doing so, I need you to go ahead and pull a critical fail card.
Oh my... Stagrum! What is it?
Melee. What is it?
Weapon tangle. You can't use this weapon to attack until the end of your next turn.
So as he was attempting to bring into the other white, it ends up getting itself lodged into the side of the sepulcher. And so he has to take an action on his next round to be able to get it out from the stone, and he has likely damaged part of his weapon.
It's a stagrum.
It's very rocky in here, my lady.
Good news, I can use a really cool spell. I'm going to use Spiritual Weapon, which it creates a magical melee weapon.
Excellent.
That I have the range of 120 feet on this sucker.
Wonderful. What kind of weapon is it?
It's just it says it manifests as your deity's favored weapon.
Your deity is Gojre. Is it
So-
a trident?
Yeah.
So I guess
I
it's
tried
trident.
it manifests out of there.
It does it sustained up to 1 minute.
Yep.
And I'm going to heighten it so that uses basically my entire turn.
Because it's Deimos' signature spell.
Which means I'm going to attack that thing, and as long as I hit, I get 2d8 plus my spellcasting modifier.
God damn.
But the weapon itself can be moved during combat as well, up to 60 feet, I think.
I rolled 15 and plus my spellcasting modifier, I think.
Plus your
So that's definitely
And
enough
that's
to hit.
8. So 23.
23
So,
hits.
my 2d.
And did you put this
Hurt.
on the white that has been damaged or the one that is not been damaged?
Let's do the one that hasn't been damaged.
Okay.
So
A
2d8 plus 8, basically.
shimmering divine trident begins emitting a glow on the opposite side of a white
Spellcast.
and jabs into the undead. How much damage you do?
3 damage.
23 points of damage?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, spiritual weapon's pretty freaking awesome.
This fucking ghostly trident just stabs its way through this fucking white's chest.
Deimos is just like chilling in the back of the room. Like, hey!
A popular show I watch has someone using a lollipop for their spiritual weapon, which tells you a lot about their god.
Nice.
That now means that it is Stano's turn. The one in between you and Alec is still flanked and appears to be on its last vestiges and tendons, and the other one has got a trident stabbing in and out of it.
She's real fucking irritated at the one in front of her. Enough to do a power attack with 27 to hit.
27 hits.
I was hoping it critical. With 24 damage.
You take your greatsword and you bisect the white,
Ha ha!
but as it's going, it makes a final strike against
God
you.
damn it!
But the rotation that it gains from your swing is enough to keep it from landing an effective hit, as it then smatters and kind of bounces off the other one to the as you cut through it.
And now that her hair is technically not in a bun, she successfully tosses her hair back and laughs victoriously. Ha ha!
You still have an action, and you have another one in melee.
Yeah, she's gonna whap it.
A doc. Remember, it's going to be at your -10 for your second attack.
That's fine. It's a 21.
Hits. At least this one's not a power attack.
I rolled max damage. That's 16 damage. It's the power of the brain, y'all.
And then you carry through and you hack into the other one from the side, and viscera, aged and black,
Ew.
comes out from where you slash through it. Caslin, so you presently have your short sword drawn.
Right. And the one that I was sitting next to, that one's dead, right?
Correct. You'll have to move up to the other one.
Okay. I will do that. I will attempt to trip it. just
Okay.
With athletics. 14 plus my athletics, plus 7, so 21.
So you need to beat its reflex DC, and its reflex DC is 16. You have successfully tripped it. So you bring your short sword through, and you swipe out underneath its legs from the backside at the angle, and it is now prone.
Okay. Now I'm going to bring out my hatchet. And
All right.
Quick draw.
So you quick draw your hatchet and bring it down.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. The next turn, was the original, was a trip an attack roll?
Yes.
So
a trip
they
is
will-
considered an attack.
They will both have the negative.
Yeah.
So you have your short sword out.
Right.
So you have to take an action to move up, and then you take an action to trip it. And so that leaves you one action left that you can quick draw and finish out the quick draw with a strike at your second attack bonus.
If you do it right, you could just kill it.
Yeah, okay. But it will be a negative.
So -5 from your maximum bonus.
Okay. Well, let me just, I'll just hit it again with the short sword. That way it's not negative.
Okay.
I miss. I rolled a 4. Negative 4 is 0.
Plus your bonus.
Plus 9. Or
So 9
10,
does not hit.
or whatever. So, it does not.
Taffy. There is a prone white with Asteno and an Alec and a Kazalin looming over it, ready to pound its poor undead face in.
More of the same. I'm gonna
Disrupt undead.
disrupt undead.
Yeah.
So you lance out with more of your crazy energy.
And it needs to roll a fortitude save.
It is able to succeed on your fortitude save and will take half damage.
9 halved, so 4.
So he takes 4 points of damage as y'all are about to begin kicking this wight to death. A lance of energy just strikes into it from about y'all's hip level as Taffy just launches into it. You got one more action.
Shield.
And Taffy maintains the disc of force to protect. Now, I believe this provokes. It stands up.
Oh, it does. 26.
Alec also takes his attack and hits with a 30. Roll your damage.
13.
He rolled a 3 and a 1. But between the both of you, as y'all each strike simultaneously, it gets cleaved in half. But it's cleaved in half at 2 different parts, so it's technically cleaved into thirds. And it is going to, as a finishing strike, as it tries one last time, misses Alec in this case, and y'all just obliterate and scatter the thing with your great sword strikes. Oh, there's magic in here. In fact, you pick up 6 magical signatures.
Where are the signatures coming from?
Oh, did we get both of them?
Yes,
Oh, yeah, they're dead.
Both have been.
I only got to use it for one turn.
It appears that
So cool.
from the sepulchers that are there, each one is emanating magic. And when you look into the 2 that are open, you see that they are appears to be halberds, each one engraved with +1 potency runes.
Okay, cool.
And as you look across each of the different sepulchers, you see that in total 3 of the sepulchers have halberd weapons on their statues. One of them has a greatsword. One of them of the sepulchers has a war flail, and the other sepulcher is topped with a rapier. But all of the other sepulchers remain closed. But each of the effigies has their own uniqueness to them. Even the faces are carved differently.
I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this question. So I'm gonna ask somebody else.
Lady Taffy, do you see that? The glow from the runes there. It's faded.
Yeah.
What do you think that means?
It means whatever necromantic magic that was here has faded with the death of the 2 risen bodies.
Do you think that means that they're all gone?
I think that the ones that we were fighting were the only ones. But I'm also concerned that maybe potentially whoever cast that, if it was, the cultists, they might be aware of us a little more than they were potentially already. Although, does it look like the runes are carved into the walls, or is it runes that have been inscribed?
Give me an Arcana check.
Can I automatically know with my +10 to...
With your assurance?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that this was a ward that was put in...
By the knights.
Likely done by the Hell Knight Order.
Okay.
Because just from the trace signatures you can see there, this is very much an Avastani style of
Okay, so
casting.
then she's gonna say, actually, looking at the way these are, and just say exactly what you said.
You're going to do what I think you're going to do, aren't you?
I promise not to fuck with their bodies.
Well, Asmodeus, I hope not.
I just...
It depends on the area of Nidal.
Oh.
Ooh, yeah.
I was hoping those were just rumors.
I mean, it is Nidal. Come on.
The Nidalies are fun. Anyway,
So I was eyeing in particular the rapier and the great swords.
yeah.
No.
I'll take it.
But Damus, you don't look like you could wield a greatsword.
No, I mean the rapier.
He meant the rapier, yeah.
Well, please just be ginger with them.
I will be as ginger as possible, and I again will be respectful. When I open, like, if I have actually, question, mage hand.
Mm-hmm.
Could mage hand open them enough for me to reach in and grab the sword without actually ever touching the body?
I don't believe Mage Hand allows you to do an athletics check. For these, while unintended objects could lift one of the weapons out of the open sepulchers.
Kaz, will you help me open these?
Sure.
So you can either do a thievery or an athletics.
I'll try to help as well with my thievery.
Gingerly.
Thievery.
Oh, I got a perfect 20, so 25.
Let's use that.
And do you want one of the halberds? Because I know you were carrying one, right?
What is it? Just a +1 halberd?
It is a +1 halberd.
Nope, that's what I got.
Oh, okay.
I
Gotcha.
got one.
Okay, so then...
So as you crack the sepulchers, you do find a +1 rapier.
And it's just resting, like, on top of the corpse. It's not, like, underneath anything or...
Correct.
So she's going to use Mage Hand without ever touching the corpse. Gently pull the sword, say a prayer, have him push it closed again.
Do you want to retrieve the greatsword?
I was told no.
Do you want to retrieve the warflail?
I don't think I can use a war flail. Does anybody else?
No, I think Sano's the only one that does.
She is.
And she doesn't want it.
You gonna argue with her about it?
No. She's tempted. Taffy's really tempted. What's your current weapon?
She's using a +1 greatsword. She has just a plain war flail.
Does she have a +1 greatsword or just
It's a
great-
+1 to hit.
The +1 came from y'all's gelatinous cube fight.
Yes.
Oh.
Stano?
Hmm?
But what if this is better than what you have?
Absolutely not. By the name of my father, absolutely not.
Who is your
father's
father?
name is absolutely not.
My father's name is not absolutely not.
Even
But-
better.
In the name of his... in his name, I will not.
Who's your dad?
You know what? How about this? Does Taffy seem genuinely curious, or is she doing it just to get Stano to do what she wants?
A little bit of both, actually. She's trying to see if she can goad you into doing it, but also she's been wondering for a while because she can't recall hearing the name Ondamal anywhere. And she is a Hell Knight historian, and if you are as closely affiliated with the Hell Knights as she thinks you are, Omdamal would have showed up. So she doesn't believe that last name.
What would I roll to see if Stano believes that Taffy genuinely wants to know?
Perception.
Oh, fuck. That is a 20.
Taffy genuinely wants to know. You can tell me later if it makes you uncomfortable around the guys.
Damn it all. Well, Sir Stagram already knows who I am.
What?
Do you not?
I always find it's unwise to reveal a lady's secrets for her.
Stagram, you're a good guy.
Don't let my superior officers hear that.
I'll keep it between us.
Thank you.
My father is Archduke Tizio Salisfur of the House Salisfur of Cheliax. My mother is Archduchess Herminica Salisfur Lorong of Corvosa.
Are you guys related?
I don't think so.
No, I can't give you an answer either way because it answers a question I don't want answered right now. So
Wait,
it surprised me. Okay, it just surprised me hearing that name.
Does Taffy notice the surprise on Kaz's face?
Give me a perception.
Stano's gonna see too.
What would I need to roll to see if I recognize the name?
15.
Society. You'll
15.
need to
21.
Also, I'll need to roll for that.
give me a society as well.
21.
So you
18.
recognize Salisfur is a known familial name from Cheliax of note and renown.
Oh no, that's
Associated with the Archduchy in Cheliax. It is a family that holds significant estate and power south of Agorian.
16 for mine, so I would probably know about the same, right?
You know less where the location part of it is, but
Oh, okay.
Salisfur is a significant house in Cheliax.
Okay. So, you're pretty important, huh?
So I will not be taking the war flail.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm sorry I'm desecrating these graves, but at least I'm being respectful in doing it.
Desecration innately denotes disrespect.
I'm not Also,
Lady Taffy, I don't think you're going to win this one.
I don't think so either.
But on the bright side, at least Demos has a shiny new rapier.
Yeah.
Maybe
So
I'll be
Stano
useful.
definitely noticed Bread's surprise at a 21, right?
Yeah.
And Taffy would have noticed with an 18?
Yeah.
What's your look for? Hmm?
You seemed a bit surprised at the name.
Let's just say I didn't realize you had ties to Corvosa.
It's my mother's family. If I recall, one of my aunts is headmistress of a university.
Well, that sounds about right for Loriong.
My mother's the current headmistress of the Agorian School for Ladies.
Ooh.
What?
School for ladies where they teach you to drink tea and wear nice dresses and kiss your husband because you're gonna have to marry because...
Lady Odaxi, is there something you'd like to talk about?
No, it's okay.
Are you
Taffy,
sure?
It's much more complicated than that, and you know it.
Hang on, Demos. Lady Tafaxi Odaxi, is there something you'd like to say about a ladies' finishing school?
I just...
Did you have a bad experience? Would you like to come forward? This is apparently sharing hour.
And she, like, brushes the spider webs and everything off of herself and jumps down from the thing. Let's just say there's a reason I went magic instead of marriage.
I can respect that. Marriage is often much more complicated.
Indeed. Magic is more fun, and I'm not beholden to anybody. Except myself.
Okay.
The two things that magic and marriage have each other is M.A. Was it your mother who drove you to magic?
No.
Okay, sharing hour is fun.
Demos, would you like to share anything?
Do I have to?
Well,
It would
I
be
mean...
interesting to see where the skill of those deft hands came from.
Get a room
You're not
already!
getting.
We are.
You can have my full first name.
Oh, Demos is a pseudonym.
No,
It's
my
a
full name's
nickname.
Nicodemus.
Nicodemus?
It's my dad's name. No one calls me that.
Interesting.
I rolled a 19 society check.
I rolled a 17.
Is that familiar?
Oh,
17 society check.
Would they be able to determine who my
Are we
father
all
was?
like suspiciously eyeing each other in this crypt?
Like, how are we all fucking royal or noble?
Well,
You're all
It's
noble.
not really noble.
the Andorans don't have a standard noble house structure. That came down once they declared themselves something of a democracy.
They do have a parliament, though.
My dad's in parliament.
I see.
That's as fairly close to an Andoran noble as you'll get, well, as they line their pockets anyway.
My dad's a good guy.
So say most politicians.
No, like actually good. Don't be mean.
And if it's any consolation, my parents are merchant lords, so...
My dad's dead.
Cheery.
So is my mom.
Can I...
Okay, cheery.
Taffy almost said something really terrible about her parents, but
What?
decided not to. Just so you guys know. She hesitated and didn't say it.
Brett, any sharing from you?
Deimos is Nicodemus.
Let's just say that my past is a
third.
little more complicated. deal with that.
Do you need to talk about something? Do you need to get it off your chest?
If it helps, for a while I bounced between realms.
What?
Yeah, it was awesome. But I'll tell you about that later. I want to hear about you.
I love that we're all like standing in the sepulchre, just like suspiciously eyeing each other.
Actually, Taffy's like, all right, let's. We're procrastinating, guys. We need to kill these cultists so we can go
Hold
home.
up. Speak, Caslin.
Strangely enough, you see that he's sleeping again.
Does he have narcolepsy?
I think he's faking it now.
Dano's gonna give him a hard slap on the face. Is that an attack roll?
Unarmed.
It would be an unarmed strike against a prone individual.
Wait, is he prone though? I thought he fell asleep standing
I
up.
can
That's
sleep. I
cocked.
can sleep standing up.
How do you put in an unarmed attack? What do you add to that?
That is your strike sans weapon,
Plus your
which you are
strength.
trained in, and it will be 1d4 plus your strength.
Oh no.
But it is non-lethal damage.
So it's a 25.
Did she just crit you?
No.
Okay.
She does 4 damage.
So,
Aw.
was Brett actually asleep? Or playing possum?
Playing possum.
Because either way, this
You just got
hand
rocked.
hard slaps, catches part of your jaw, and nearly twists you. And you're glad you didn't lose a tooth, as just this spittle just flies out against the wall as you get this hard slap.
Taffy's gonna use the wand of healing. I don't know what I have to roll for that.
Oh,
you
you only
use the
can
one
use
action?
a one. You can only use that once, can't you?
Once a day.
Once a day.
Oh,
but
okay. Oh, whatever.
1 action, 2 action, or 3 action.
Do the 3 action in a burst.
do we all need heal? Oh yeah.
Dano needs healing.
I'll do the 3 action in a burst.
Everyone heals 8 points of damage.
Cool.
And so you had this bruise and welt about to show on your face.
And
then
warmth just
as
washed
the
over
healing magic from the wand washes over, it recedes down.
you.
You should
You're
really
awake
get that
again.
medical condition checked out, Brad.
Maybe we don't.
You have a way of trying to attain what's not yours to get.
I'm so sorry.
You heard me.
Okay.
Must be some of that high-born entitlement.
You're noble as well. I can tell it from the way you stand, Caslin.
Well, not all of us come from such grace.
Okay.
Are you saying you're not
So-
fancy?
Sharing time's
Say
over.
he's not graceful.
I mean, we could have said that. We could have told that.
He's saying the house he comes from is not viewed as graceful.
Or is high ranking, maybe. So Taffy doesn't desecrate any other graves. Just grabs the rapier for Deimos.
Wait.
Oh, your note.
Oh, I take note of everything.
It's a Stano slap the hell out of Brett.
At least Shay's not just doodling dicks or something in the margins.
I've never doodled a dick. However, my most recent note just says bears, bears, bears. I don't take notes. I've got kidnapped by frog. Bears, bears, bears. That's my notes for today.
Fair enough.
So y'all believe y'all have explored each room in this basement.
There's no other rooms.
Correct.
There's no staircases downstairs.
Not that you can traverse.
Let's awkwardly go back to Breachill.
Wait,
Now that we know way too much about each other.
there's got to be a way down. There's a third basement or another basement.
Correct. You see that there's a set of stairs that would go down, but it is collapsed.
Brilliant. That means they can't get up. Let's go back to Breachill, guys.
Through the tunnel?
Yeah.
The ominous tunnel. Let's go.
All right, let's go.
So y'all begin heading down the tunnel. It's long, dark, cramped.
I'm assuming Deimos cast light.
We left our horses at the goblin camp.
Well, we'll have to figure that out later because this is the only way out.
Y'all
So's the other
begin
dog.
traversing down.
Taffy has all 4 globes of dancing lights circling.
Chris is
them.
like, guys, will you let me describe this fucking situation? And then says nothing.
Right.
Right, because I was making sure that I had a nice place to.
I was about to
pick
jump
up
in
on
with
stuff.
something, be like, as he's like starting to say something, and then I do, but I didn't have anything to follow up with, so.
During the awkward silence, Stano's going to kind of clear her throat and be like, I would be most appreciative if you would all keep my name under wraps, though.
Who am I gonna tell? You guys?
It's just hard to travel under my name.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I
I
get
bet
that.
so.
What do you know, Andoran?
I know some of the names over there.
Caslin, I'm sorry, I pried.
It's fine. Just don't hit me again.
Genuinely, you should get that checked out by a medical professional.
He was doing
Go and
it.
gently
He was
pinch his arm.
faking, you guys.
Oh.
He didn't want to talk about it, so he was avoiding the
Well,
subject.
now I apologize for striking you. I thought you had genuinely fallen asleep.
So it takes quite a few hours for y'all to traverse down the tunnel.
Ugh.
You can tell that it is gently sloping downward. It's several hours down a singular long tunnel. 5 foot high,
So boring.
5 foot wide.
A bit high.
It's only 5 feet high.
Oh,
Right,
God,
so
what a
you're
pain in the
stooped
ass.
for everyone who's above 5 feet tall.
Oh,
Oh
fuck.
no, which is everybody but
It
Taffy.
sucks to be you guys,
The
huh?
kobolds are like really happy right now. They they don't
Wait, are the
understand.
kobolds coming with us?
Y'all haven't told them not to.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so she's got the rope looped around one wrist and is holding the hands of either kobold as we're walking all next to each other.
I'm going to have such a backache after this.
Oh, your back is aching and burning. Your legs are burning by the time you get the...
Let's not take this tunnel again. You guys seem to be having a problem.
yeah. Do you think it's because most of us are almost a foot taller than the tunnel?
Well, you should have stopped growing at 5 foot.
Oh, yes, Taffy.
wish I
will
could've.
certainly inform my legs of this.
Wish I could have.
But eventually,
Sorry.
the tunnel opens up into a basement. Not too much taller,
Ugh.
but tall enough that you can stand and finally stretch your legs.
Oh my god.
What's it like to have such long spines?
It feels like I need to crack every bone in my body.
That sounds like it would hurt a lot.
What? You've never cracked the?
Well, I have, but like
Where
all-
are we?
Are we in a house?
As y'all begin looking around, you seem to find yourself
Wait a minute.
at the opening in a basement, and you see that there is an obvious hidden door above you. Who wants to open it up?
Stano's going to push it open.
Hey, whoa, whoa.
I think we should check for traps.
I don't care.
So Stano pushes open
Oh no.
the door, and you seem to find yourself in a basement room.
Another.
This basement itself appears to be a storeroom of some sort of eating
Bookshop?
or drinking establishment.
How many goddamn basements are there in Iska?
You see
We're in
cleaning
the basement
supplies,
basement.
Many.
spare kegs, ingredients for greasy but hearty foods, and there are pickles. Jars of pickles everywhere. You see
Are we in the Wizard's Grace? That started in Stano's voice and moved right into mine.
row upon row of shelves of pickled pig's ears.
Ugh.
Are there regular pickles too?
There are some regular pickles and several other types of foods.
Are there
stored
pickled
down here
eggs?
as well. There is one jar of pickled eggs.
Taffy's gonna
Are we
wait
at the-
until
Kate and Kalian Tavern?
Oh god, I hope
Taffy's
not.
gonna
That
wait.
really doesn't bode well for my view of Kate and Kalian at the moment.
Taffy's
it's
gonna
too
do one of
pickly in here.
these with a jar of pickles into the bag.
Give me a stealth.
Oh yes, my pickles now.
Fuck. I'm not giving you a fake.
You see the
point.
pickled cucumbers, pickled
15?
beets, pickled onions. Everyone roll the perception.
Shit.
Pickled cauliflower, pickled chicken feet.
15.
13?
Yeah. Wait, you're the only one that saw? Wait, did you see?
I got 15 then.
Even if I had, I wouldn't give a shit.
I know you wouldn't. What did you get?
15.
I think Stano's the only lawful one, so she's the only one you care about. And if you told her it's for the goblin, she wouldn't give a shit.
That's true.
Do either of you look at me after you see me swipe it into the bag?
No.
No. Why do I care? It's pickles.
Okay. So now Taffy has a jar of pickles. And I write that on my character sheet.
Plus one jar.
Yeah.
Are there stairs?
There do appear to be stairs leading up, and Alec looks over at Taffy. You are going to pay for that, right?
God.
Oh, god damn it, Alec. I forgot he was with us.
She digs into her pack and pulls out a whole gold fucking coin and sets it right where the jar of pickles was.
That's going to be one heck of a tip. And
Well-
just as he says that, a door opens,
Shit.
and you see what appears to be a very
Stano
exhausted-
shrieks just a little bit. She's startled.
And as Stano shrieks, the person who
God.
opens the door shrieks as well. Ah, what are you doing here?
No, no, we
took
followed
Where
the tunnel
are
and now
we?
we're here.
You're at the Pickled Ear. Why are you in my storeroom?
Well, that makes sense.
Oh.
Huh.
We came from the citadel.
It's like 1 a.m. What do you
We
mean?
came from the citadel. There is a tunnel from your basement to Citadel All-Terrain. We would like to leave so that we can go back to our inn.
No one's leaving until we get Roxy in here.
That is fine. Bring her to us.
Fine. Wait right here. And closes
Wait.
the door.
God damn it. God. I could have done anything to
And we'll
stop
pick up
that.
there next time.
Why are you in my basement? Because
know,
you
why
fucking
am
have
I?
a tunnel. Obviously.
How did they hear us? We were being.
No, she came in probably to get food from the storeroom.
Chief, we've confirmed it. The tunnel. It has been collapsed. We will need some assistance to dig the heroes out. There's no chance the town will send their guard here to help, and the Posandis won't help without coin or favors. We still have much of the clan, but they're scattered in the hills. So you four, go start rounding them up. Chief! That will leave this group without warriors. And there's a dog and horses. We couldn't. I don't like it either. The horses are just so much horse. But do not worry. Warble, she has a feel for the beasts. So go. We will be fine here for several nights while you gather the strength of the clan. Yes, Chief. Yagi. Be careful. Be swift. And stay hidden. Yes, Mother.